Hello, everyone. Welcome to Oyindamola. She's Sanusi. She's an expert with digital marketing. She has worked with so many businesses, to help them grow their social media, help them optimize their content creation as well too. She's the co-founder of Gem Strategy. Gem Strategy is also a digital marketing. Tell us a bit about yourself. Maybe I didn't say everything I was to say.
I mean, you actually said it all. Like, I am a digital marketer who is currently co-running a digital marketing agency called the Gem Strategy Limited. And on the side, I am actually a TikTok coach and I teach people various video editing techniques, which also makes me a content marketer in practice. Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. Let's jump straight to it. So, what sparked your passion for social media marketing and digital marketing? Yes.
Well, can I say brokenness?
Yes.
Can I say? But yeah, apart from being broke, actually, I've always known things about social media. Like ever since I was like a little kid, like all my family members, I'm sure when they hear my line of work, nobody's going to be surprised because they all knew. Like I've always loved social media. I've always done things in relating to social media. So all I just did was to just polish that knowledge and fine tune it and make it more professional by going through various formal learning.
Okay, so we know that
Yeah.
social media is very crucial for so many businesses and even freelancers. If someone tries to create a brand,
hmm
but then many people like they make so much mistakes when it comes to running social media. So, what are the most common flaws or mistakes that you see businesses or freelancers make with social media?
I mean, well, the number one mistake that so many people make is they fail to actually carry out a market research before even going on social media. So, for instance, now, if you want to start a business and oh, you say, okay, I want to start a hair business online. What many people would do in this case is they will just create their social media channels, open everything without a proper strategy, without a proper market research, without even knowing who they want to deliver to. So those things are crucial. Like doing a market research would expose you to knowing who your exact target audience would be, which is the number one thing. We all say it. It's like almost cliche hearing everybody keeps saying target audience, know your target audience. But many people still actually do not know who their target audience are because they are not delivering to their target audience. There's no way, do you understand what I'm saying? So there's no way you would actually deliver to your target audience and you're not going to thrive online. So many people are missing out on that aspect. Doing a market research is very, very crucial to like growing on social media because it will expose you to a lot of things. Like it will expose you to a lot of things, like creating your social media strategy, knowing your target audience, knowing when to post, who to post for, and so many other things. Yeah. So that market research part is what many people get it wrong.
Yeah, so you said something that I love, which was target audience.
Yeah.
So when some businesses
Mm-hmm.
or brand they want to run ads for their business, and I feel that personally I've tried to run ads before. That's worked for me, but then I might have made some mistakes. So talking about target audience, how can you target the right audience, especially when you're trying to run ads?
Okay. So when trying to run ads, that's a whole new ball game because I mean I've run ads for so many clients. I've even taught like we host a periodic ad challenge with my company, which is called the Ads Challenge, and we just host it for 1,000 naira actually, and we teach all of these things because knowing the right audience to target for your ads is very, very crucial because there are so many things to consider, like the location, the age, the demographics, and then their interests. So, like I said earlier, if you do not know your target audience, even before you come on social media, everything is already wrong. So you wouldn't even know who to target when you're trying to run your ads. For instance, if you're trying to run ads for a fashion brand and then you start targeting let's say you start targeting, of course, you're going to target people that have interest in fashion and everything. But for your ads to really convert, you don't always have to just target just the people in your niche. You can target a wider range of audience that would also convert, because that's when I always teach my clients how to understand synonyms. This will sound very weird, but if you understand the synonyms around your brand, for instance, know what clothing brand is called in various languages, so that you can diversify and expand your targeting whenever you're trying to run ads. It's a very, very elaborate topic. I don't even know if I'm confusing you or if I'm making sense,
No, no,
but
no, no, no. It
the
makes so
easiest
much
way is
sense.
to just know. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something you said, that I really love, and you talked about target audience. So I want to
Mm.
ask, especially businesses and freelancers when they're trying to run ads for their businesses, and something that I personally experienced was, how can I target my audience? What are those ways for me to target my audience? Secondly, too, can you give us an example, of a business, and how they targeted their audience?
Okay, so for instance, like I said earlier, the targeting really, really matters. If you have been running your business on social media and serving your target audience the way you should, then targeting your audience during your ads would not be a problem, because then you already know the kind of people that you need your business to reach, right? And then targeting them will be very easy. But a little bit of spice whenever you're trying to run ads, because at the targeting stage, we have the age, we have the location, we have interest, and then we have there are four things. I think we have age, location, interest, and there's one other thing I can't really remember. So when you are doing all of that, of course, if you already know your target audience, you already know the age group you are serving to, you know the locations that your audience would be. But in the interest now, I always do this thing where I advise my clients to always, always learn how to diversify using synonyms. What does this mean? Like knowing what your business is called in different ways. For instance, now, let's say you are running a clothing brand now. If you're targeting for a fashion brand, if you're your ad targeting or the interest now can be fashion brand, you should know that clothing is also there, apparel is also there. Clothes, like just know how to diversify and know what your business is called in various languages. And that way, you're going to be able to have a broad audience, but still narrow down to your own target audience. So I don't know if that really makes sense. I'm trying to make it
I
very
understand. Yeah, that,
narrow. Yeah.
that,
It's a lot
that, that
more. It's a lot more,
yes,
but
yes, yes, yes. That means
yeah.
so much.
This client I worked with like 2 months ago, it's actually a fashion brand. And shocker alert, I always discourage my clients that don't have up to at least 1,000 followers to run ads. But surprisingly, this client came with me with about 100 followers, telling me she wanted to run ads and she wanted to make sales. It was a bit of a challenge to me, because I was like, how do I explain to this client that the ad will not convert? Like, how are people going to trust? Because if you're running ads, you need to establish trust with your page. That means you must have had a number of followers, a number of posts, so that they will know that, okay, you're not just a random person, or you're not even a scammer. So I was like, okay, I just decided to give it a try, because the person was actually a very, very talented fashion designer. She just didn't have the number of followers yet. So I was like, okay, I ran the ads for her. I set the targeting. Surprisingly, the followers started to grow, and she was even getting DMs. This is something that even pages of like, let's say 5K followers, 10K followers, they might not easily get DMs from running ads for the first time. This was the very first time we were running ads on that page. And just because I decided to do a lot of things, I gave her some advice. She took it, did her ad content, did some things, tweaked our bio, and did some things. And then surprisingly, we actually had lots of conversions. Like we had number of followers, we had DMs. People actually placed orders with just 98 followers or 100 followers that we used with that page. And it was actually amazing. Like it was like I was actually really proud of myself and my team, because it was under Gem strategy, and I was really proud we could be able to like pull that off, because trust me, it wasn't supposed to convert, but I mean, yeah,
Wow, incredible, incredible. That
yeah.
was wonderful. I love that story. Okay,
Thank
okay, like I
you.
said before, content creation, I believe that, your content is what determines how fast your campaign can go. do you have any ideas, mistakes that business or crucial mistakes that businesses make or freelancers make when it comes to creating content? And also, do you have any other tips that people can use for organic viral content?
Hmm. Okay, so in terms of missing out or the content creation aspect, right? Most people, the mistake most people make is trying to blend in. They forget authenticity is a thing. Like, for instance, you want to start out something and then you just go over to Instagram or TikTok, for instance, and just check what every other person has been doing, and then you just blend in. For that, you have your own stronghold. For instance, if you're a talkative, there's no reason why you should be creating how-to videos, like let's say all these still videos. You should be doing talking videos and teaching people what you know. So knowing your own stronghold, trying not to blend in and sticking to your own story would really, really make the difference in terms of content creation. Like, I used to have a TikTok account that was stuck at 1,400 followers for like almost 5 years since I've been on TikTok. And that was because at some point I was wondering why that page was not growing. But I realized that was because I was just doing things because every other person was doing it. I wasn't doing things that I knew I could do. And like, I wasn't just sharing my knowledge. I wasn't giving value, so to speak. So the thing about content creation to just succeed is just to give value, no matter how basic that sounds. Now, I started out afresh with another TikTok account, and in just 3 months, I've been able to grow it to 11,000 organic followers. These are people that I do not know from anywhere. I did not tell my family, friends to follow me. They are strictly strangers because they have been following me because of the value that I've been giving. So, if you want to actually succeed for your business in terms of content creation, you have to learn how to give value. You don't need to be hoarding knowledge or keep information to yourself. Learn how to share, because people would literally pay you back by actually engaging on your post, following you, and a lot of other stuff. Then you can now even introduce your product to them, and they will be willing because they already trust you. They know that this is what you know how to do, and you are the only person that they can trust with that particular thing. So there's a whole lot to actually take advantage of content creation. And I don't think I can remember your second question. I don't know if I've already answered it,
No,
Sha.
you've answered, you've answered everything, and
All right, all
that's
right,
good.
all
So
right.
basically, we need to make sure that we are offering value, in the
Yeah,
business we are doing. Teach people, make them learn something new every time they are,
yeah.
having an experience with our brand. So, how do you see social media, evolving in the next few years, and how can businesses stay ahead of the curve? You know,
Can you come again?
so how do you see social media evolving, and how can businesses stay ahead of the curve? How can businesses, in the next few
Uh,
years?
I mean, the only way is to actually intentionally invest in content creation. If you are running a brand and content creation is like the number 10 out of, let's say your priority list is 10 and content creation is on 10, content creation should actually be number one, because these days, the way content creation is going, like looking far back at growth of businesses before we got to where we are now, social media was not really, really glorified. Like, people, offline marketing was the thing, word of mouth, referrals, and all of that. But now that there's technology, there's AI, there's so many things, you have to be on top of the game by investing in content creation. Because without pushing content on social media, you're not going to gain visibility. And social media is where everybody now spends their time. So there's no way you can reach people without actually pushing the right content. So investing heavily in content creation is just the thing for you. If you want to actually continue with the flow for your business and you want your business to also be high up there, because a lot of people still don't recognize the importance yet. But in the nearest future, we are all going to be here to witness it actually. So if you
Yes.
know what is good for you and your brand, invest heavily, like emphasis on heavily on content creation.
So, yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, what advice do you have for brands that are just starting out, with social media, and content creation and marketing? And what advice do you have for someone even going into saying, "I want to become a digital marketer"? What advice do you have for them?
All right, so the best advice I can give is to prioritize research. Never stop learning. For instance, if you're a brand owner that just wants to start out on social media, there's a very, very high possibility that you probably don't know what to do. So there's no way you would understand how to actually survive, so to speak, on social media without actually doing research. So let's used to be your back. Let's used to be always be at the back of your mind, because that's the best platform to get free knowledge.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Oyindamola, Sanusi. We've learned so much
You're
from
welcome.
today's episode. So if you are looking to, boost your presence online as a business, a freelancer, you can reach out to Oyindamola and her business, Gem Strategy. We're going to have the link, alongside this episode. So thank you so much. I had a wonderful time, conversing
Thank you
with
for
you.
having me. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.